Top 5 Causes of the Great Depression. The Great Depression lasted from 1929 to 1939 and was the worst economic depression in the history of the United States. Economists and historians point to the main cause of the Great Depression, the stock market crash of October 24, 1929, as the start of the downturn. But the truth is there were many causes of the Great Depression, not just one single event. 1. Stock market crash of 1929. Remembered today as Black Tuesday, the stock market crash of October 29, 1929 was neither the sole cause of the Great Depression nor the first crash that month, but it's typically remembered as the most obvious marker of the Depression beginning. The market, which had reached record highs that very summer, had begun to decline in September. On Thursday, October 24, the market plunged at the opening bell, causing a panic. Though investors managed to halt the slide, just 5 days later on Black Tuesday, the market crashed, losing 12% of its value and wiping out $14 billion of investments. As of 2 months later, stockholders had lost more than $40 billion. Even though the stock market regained some of its losses by the end of 1930, the economy was devastated. The United States truly entered what is called the Great Depression. 2. Bank failures. The effects of the stock market crash rippled throughout the economy. Nearly 700 banks failed in the waning months of 1929 and more than 3,000 collapsed in 1930, one of the major causes of the Great Depression. Federal deposit insurance was as yet unheard of, so when the banks failed, people lost all their money. Some people panicked, causing bank runs as people desperately withdrew their money, which in turn forced more banks to close. By the end of the decade, more than 9,000 banks had failed. Surviving institutions, unsure of the economic situation and concerned for their survival, became unwilling to lend money. This exacerbated the situation, leading to less and less spending. 3. Reduction in purchasing across the board. With people's investments worthless, their savings diminished or depleted, and credit tight to non-existent, spending by consumers and companies alike ground to a standstill. As a result, workers were laid off en masse. In a chain reaction, as people lost their jobs, they were unable to keep up with paying for items they had bought through installment plans, repossessions and evictions were commonplace. More and more unsold inventory began to accumulate. The unemployment rate rose above 25%, which meant even less spending to help alleviate the economic situation. 4. American economic policy with Europe. As the Great Depression tightened its grip on the nation, the government was forced to act. Vowing to protect U.S. industry from overseas competitors, Congress passed the Tariff Act of 1930, better known as the Smoot-Hawley Tariff. The measure imposed near-record tax rates on a wide range of imported goods. A number of American trading partners retaliated by imposing tariffs on U.S.-made goods. As a result, world trade fell by 2/3 between 1929 and 1934. By then, Franklin Roosevelt and a Democrat-controlled Congress passed new legislation allowing the president to negotiate significantly lower tariff rates with other nations. 5. Drought conditions. One of the biggest causes of the Great Depression was environmental destruction. A years-long drought coupled with farming practices, which did not use soil preservation techniques, created a vast region from southeast Colorado to the Texas Panhandle that came to be called the Dust Bowl. Massive dust storms choked towns, killing crops and livestock, sickening people, and causing untold millions in damage. Thousands fled the region as the economy collapsed, something John Steinbeck chronicled in his masterpiece, The Grapes of Wrath. It would be years, if not decades, before the region's environment recovered.